Next up is pitcher Joe McGrain. Here's the stretch by Doug McGrain bunting, and he taps the ball into foul territory. Strike one. Miami leading the Steelers 21-6 in the third quarter at Three Rivers today. And now in the bottom of the fourth inning at Shea Stadium, the Chicago Cubs lead the New York Mets 2-0. Andre Dawson hitting a first inning home run for Chicago. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. Cincinnati Reds clinched the National League Western Division title yesterday. Reds second baseman Billy Doran has been admitted to a Cincinnati hospital for tests and evaluation of back pain, which has sidelined him since Thursday. Doran acquired by the Reds from Houston last month. The National League Championship Series is scheduled to open Thursday night at Riverfront Stadium. Here's the 1-1 pitch. McGrain trying to bunt the ball. He missed it, and the pitch in for a strike, and the count's 1-2. Well, there's some big decisions for Joe Torre and Dale Maxville. Decisions to be made concerning this Cardinal ball club. Mentioned that Pendleton is a free agent after this year. Bunted ball, third base side. Jeff King will team with Jose Lean, the sacrifice 5-4, and Oquendo's at second base.
Well, I had a chance to talk briefly with Dal Maxfield yesterday and asked him what direction. You see McGrain getting the job done, and King will finish it up to first base. But Maxie's saying that they may test a free agent market, and they may have to if they lose as many players as the Cardinals have this year. And the talk of Pendleton moving on, Coleman, and who knows with other people. Tudor retires. Ozzie Smith has had some conflicting comments recently. So you just don't know what's going to happen to this ball club.
Top of the order, and Bernard Gilkey, who bounced to second base in the first inning. No score, bottom of the third from Busch Stadium. Turning and firing, they got him at second base. Oquendo is picked off.
And he stepped on Chico. This is a great timing play. Drabek, after he takes the sign, and you see his head, as soon as Chico saw the back of Drabek's head, then Jose breaks to second base, so throws right on the money. And you can see there, Oquendo can't even get to the bag. You have to go through Lean to do it, and he can't. Talk about catching a guy flat-footed. That's exactly what they did to Oquendo.
And Lean evaluating the damage. 2 down on the third. And the pitch to Gilkey is down, low, ball 1. The Boston Red Sox have scored 2 runs in the bottom of the fourth. It's the Blue Jays 4 and the Red Sox 4 going to the fifth. Up the middle, Jose Lean in the right place to throw out Gilkey, and that ends the inning. So Chico had a hand in all 3 outs in the frame. He was a part of the bunt play and the pickoff, and then takes care of the Gilkey ground ball. After 3, no scores.
It started here, in a country that's known to know something about beer. There's maybe no region richer in ways to brew beer, including the way all beer used to be brewed, fire brewed. The way one beer in America still is brewed today. A beer started here more than 200 years ago. Stroh's, fire brewed, family brewed. Some things never change. Some things never should.
At Carriage, we believe in making every ride a special occasion. We have stretch limousines waiting to take you, your client, or guest on a city tour, to the theater, sporting events, social functions, weddings, golf outings, or business entertainments. Try a gift certificate. You'll find all of our automobiles have a maximum emphasis on style, luxury, and comfort. Call us at 488-7000 or toll free 1-800-642-4546 from anywhere in the world.
On an average weekend, we use 130,000 eggs at King's Family Restaurants. Some are whipped into magnificent golden hotcakes. Others are blended with cheese, tomatoes, onions, and green peppers into fluffy omelets. Dozens more are used to create a mountain of French toast. And some are fried and served with toast and sausage.
I'm Hartley King. I believe fresh ingredients make food taste better. That's why I keep these girls employed.
Perfect timing on this pickoff play. Now watch Drabek when he turns his head and picks up his catcher. As soon as he looks in, this is when lean breaks and Doug spins and throws. The timing play, and what a time of the year to use this play. When you're involved in this kind of ball game, a lot of people think, well, they're just going to get through it. Nobody gets hurt. You don't think about plays like this time of the year in these kinds of games. So the right time to use it, and it works.
Top of the order for the Pirates, and Gary Reed is to lead off. And we're ready for our second Giant Eagle inning of the day. Reed takes a strike. Mildred was our contestant in the second inning. Leonard Rowley is our contestant here in the fourth. Ground ball outside third, no balls, 2 strikes. Mildred Fike of Uniontown will receive a gift certificate from Procter & Gamble. And now Leonard Rowley of Wheeling, West Virginia has a chance to win a $50 Giant Eagle gift certificate. Inside 1 and 2. The Cubs 2 and the Mets nothing. They're going to the 5th inning at Shea. And checking the Mets starting lineup, it's Pat Tabler in right field again today. Neither Strawberry nor McReynolds in the lineup.
3 days in a row. When we talk about the kinds of year that the Pirates have had, and of course the makeup games that we'll finish up with the Mets the next 3 days are actually April dates, but the Bucks were 15 and 8 this April, and if they win the 3 against the Mets, it could be an 18-win month for them. Now the Pirates have won 17 games in August, have won 18 games in September, so you're talking about a ball club that started strong and finished strong.
And I really think, Jim, that the significant time for this ball club was that first long road trip. It was the second trip of the season for the Bucks. The journey that began here in St. Louis. Fly ball to center. And Ray Langford makes the catch one away. We came into St. Louis for 1. We beat the Cardinals, swept the Cubs at Wrigley, lost to St. Louis on a Monday, and then went out and did so well against the Giants and Padres.
Yeah, it was only the 2 losses in L.A. that kind of put a sour note on the trip, but still a very significant trip and a very well-played trip. When you have to bounce around city, as the Pirates did on that trip, that's tough to do.
And don't forget, and I know you haven't because we've talked about it so much over the season, the Thursday night in St. Louis was a late night. We played a day game in Chicago, got in late that night, and Jose Lean made the great play early in the ball game, that Friday game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Another guy that really, to us, he doesn't go unnoticed, but people don't realize the work that Greg Johnson put in for a trip like that. He's the guy that makes it work when you have to travel that much and make those kinds of transfers and what have you on the airplanes and everything else. Even if the bus is 10 minutes late, it seems like an eternity when you've been on the road for so long and in so many cities.
Yeah, great point. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jay Bell. Swinging a foul ball. Jay in his last 7 games has 5 hits. He's walked 9 times and had 1 game against the Cardinals in Pittsburgh last weekend, in which he was hit twice by pitches, 1 thrown by Bob Tewksbury, the other out of the hands of Scott Terry.
And Jay's really proud about the year that he's had. He set a goal for RBIs at 50, and he has 51. He's very happy about that, and he should be, because he's done everything else. And we were talking to him today, and I said, well, the only thing you have to do now to be the complete shortstop, all-around player, is to hit 300.
Strike 3 called, inside corner. Joe McGrain gets his 2nd strikeout. What did Jay say to that when you mentioned that to him?
Well, Jay thinks he can hit 300. The thing that's going to help him out, there's that last pitch on the inner part of the plate. He has to cut down on his strikeouts. Jay realizes as a number 2 hitter, he strikes out too many times, over 100, and that is a high number for the type of hitter that he is. So he feels confident that he can hit 300, and that's a good start trying to do it.
No score in the fourth. Andy Van Slyke grounded out his first time up. A check swing. Ball one. Junior Felix is homered for Toronto in the fifth inning. It's now the Blue Jays 5 and the Red Sox 4.
Made a comment earlier in the game about Andy and Jim Leland's statement a couple of years ago, saying if the Pirates are going to win, sure, you need the help from the other people. But the horses, the three horses, and that's the Pirate outfield of Bonilla, Van Slyke, and Bonds, they have to be there every day. And with the left-handed situation now, facing the lefties, if you're going to win, they have to be there because you know they're going to see the guy in Cincinnati, Norm Charlton, as a starter, maybe Browning, maybe Danny Jackson. So in the long run, it really has stuck out or held up for Leland.
Breaking ball 2-2 and a shot of Jim Leland in the dugout. Leland with 396 victories as the Pirate manager. Jim could get to 400 before the close of the regular year. And a base hit to center field. The Pirates have their first base runner. Joe McGrain had retired the first 11 Pirate batters, but Andy comes through with a 2-out single here in the fourth.
Andy really stays with this pitch well. When he has trouble with left-handers, you'll see him pull off the pitch, but with this one, he kept his eye on the ball and made good contact. You mentioned Jim Leland's wins, Lanny. It seems to me more and more in baseball today that good managers like Leland, and of course spinning off of Tony La Russa, they are more involved with the playing of the game today than managers were quite a few years ago.
Bobby Bonilla, who went after the first pitch and popped up in the second inning, his first ball hitting here in the fourth, and he pops up once again to Smith. No runs, one hit, one man left on base, no home run in the inning, so Leonard Raleigh of Wheeling, West Virginia, receives a gift certificate from Hills Brothers Coffee. No score, the Bucks and Cardinals after 3.5 from the Gateway City.
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a tough one. I can't think of anything now. Who could it be? I don't know. A good one.
You're asking me that? Let me think about that for a second. Okay.
See all your favorite Mets for the last time October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It just may be for all the marbles. Call for tickets or visit the stadium box office 9 to 6.
Only the genuine Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages gives you the most ads and the most choices. It's the most valuable player on your team. The genuine Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
Let the motor oil claim to be top. Quaker State puts it in writing.
Ask your participating service center about Quaker State's top lubrication guarantee.
Only a top motor oil can make a guarantee this tough. Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Smart with Airways.
Ozzie Smith leads off the bottom of the fourth. No score. The Cardinals have 2 hits. The Pirates have 1. Ozzie lined out to shortstop Jay Bell in the first inning, and Smith trying to bunt his way on, but an easy play. Gary just picked the ball up with his foot on the base and one away in the fourth. Doug Drabek, the 21-game winner, facing the Cardinals today.
Well, Ozzie gets the right pitch. He wanted a fastball. Anybody that drags the ball is guessing fastball. He got the pitch, but he made too good a contact, and, well, Reedus gets to the ball in the base at the exact same time.
Now the batter, Ray Lankford. Drabek with a chance to win the Cy Young Award. The only other Pirate to be a Cy Young Award winner was Vernon Law in 1960. We were talking to Doug the other day about his life and his career in baseball, and I asked Doug if there was one gentleman significant in his life professionally, some important point of his career, and Drabek pointed out that He was having some trouble pitching for Albany in 1985, Double-A in the Yankees organization, and was fortunate to have a couple of good conversations with Dave LaRoche, the pitching coach of that Albany ball club. Doug said that Dave was the type of guy that was rather laid back, low-key. You could always count on David to be in a pretty good mood for you. Here's a 2-1 pitch, foul back 2-2, and at that time, Doug was wondering about things that were not going well for him and constantly thinking about what was going wrong. And Doug did say that when he talked to his wife Christy about it, they talked at times about maybe that was as high as Doug was going to get in his career, Double-A. It's rather strange to say that today, having watched Drabek pitch these last several years to the Pirates. Langford bounces out to Ritas. But I guess every successful player at some point has that real tough time when maybe they think about quitting and have doubts about how far they're going to go in the game.
Well, that's where that mental toughness has to come forward to some degree, because some players don't make the decision. They just kind of let things slide by and let a career go by the board.
I really got a sense, Jim, from talking to Doug the other day that he's a young man that's always had a good feeling about what he can do and about his life and what he needs to do to be successful. He certainly has been fortunate to get an awful lot of energy. He said the other day that Christy Drabek, his wife, is the energetic one of the family. She provides the family with the energy.
Yeah, you'd have to figure that holds true not only for her and Doug, but for the two boys as well. It goes right on down through the blood veins.
Justin and Kyle, they're fire plugs. 1 ball and 1 strike on Guerrero as he bats in the 4th, no score. Popped into shallow center field. Jose Lean makes the catch. Chico's been involved in 7 of the first 12 outs. No score after 4. We'll be right back.
Now's the time to buy America's most satisfying car, the Acura Integra. Choose from an excellent inventory of both the Integra 3- and 4-door models while they last. The prices will never be lower. Right now, you can be in a new Integra for only $12,245. Come drive an outstanding Acura Integra now at your nearest Western Pennsylvania Acura dealer. If you drive an Acura, you'll buy an Acura. Now's the time, Pittsburgh. Now's the time.
Orlando, Florida is rated as the #1 family and individual vacation destination in the entire USA. You can be there for only $299 per person. This great low price of $299 includes your round-trip airfare via U.S. Air, 7 nights hotel stay at a great Orlando resort, baggage, taxes, tips, and much more. Children under 16 years of age are only $169 for the entire week stay in Orlando. Walt Disney World, Epcot Center, and the new MGM Studios are for people of all ages. Weekly Saturday departures are now available from now through the end of this year. Royal also offers new 3- and 4-night vacation packages with daily departures via U.S. Air from all major gateway cities. Call your local travel agent or Royal Travel today to receive a free brochure on this great Orlando, Florida vacation package. Space has been selling fast to Orlando, so please, call today to avoid any disappointment and secure your vacation reservation to Orlando.
Doug Drabek on the proper way to warm up.
Warming up's a lot faster with the microwave. It sets the proper heat and time setting, but remember, do not use metal. And buy everything from Giant Eagle, the only store that has absolute minimum prices.
Like the absolute minimum price on Downy Fabric Softener. A 96-ounce bottle is just $2.99. Other stores charge $3.99.
If you think Nolan Ryan can put some heat on the ball.
Giant Eagle, absolute minimum pricing every day.
Barry Bonds leads off the 5th, no score. It'll be Bonds, King, and Slot against Joe McGrain. The Cubs are leading the Mets 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th at Shea Stadium. Andre Dawson hitting a 2-run homer in the Chicago 1st. Toronto 5, Boston 4 in the 5th inning at Fenway. In the National Football League, Miami leads Pittsburgh 21-6 going to the 4th quarter. Well, Barry Bonds gets the base on balls. First walk issued by Joe McGrain. Comiskey Park, the oldest stadium in the major leagues, plays host to its final game today. The Chicago White Sox take on Seattle. Comiskey Park opened July 1st, 1910. And the White Sox today defeated the St. Louis Browns 2-0.
I love that promotion the White Sox did this summer, where they all wore the old-time uniforms, and the people that worked at the ballpark, all the vendors and what have you, dressed in the old-style clothes, and they announced the lineup with the megaphone instead of the PA system.
Should have the radio announcers do it by ticker tape.
Maybe they did.
Jeff King batting. King almost hit a ball over the head of Bernard Gilkey in the second, but the Cardinal left fielder was able to make the catch and end the inning. Fastball high and inside, ball one. September the 30th. It was on this day 18 years ago that Roberto Clemente came up with career hit number 3,000 off the Mets' John Matlack. That was Clemente's last regular season hit. Pirate fans, I'm sure, are well aware of the fact that Clemente did have 4 hits in the 1972 National League Championship Series against the Reds. He had a double in Game 3 of that series. He hit a home run in Game 4. Clemente's last actual hit was at Riverfront Stadium October the 11th off Don Gullett. Bonds at first base, and the pitch to King in for a strike, 1-1.
With the kind of delivery that McGrain has, he's been able to freeze Barry a little bit at first base. Bonds wanted to run, I think, on that last pitch, and took a half a step, but the kind of move that McGrain has, and it's a good one, Bonds just can't figure it out to this point. It is a real guessing game when to try and run on McGrain.
Bonds 52 stolen bases. King with a fly ball to center. Caught by Langford, 1 down. Now the Mets have scored a run in the bottom of the 5th inning against the Cubs. Chicago leading 2-1. We'll bring up Don Slaught. Slaught bounced to shortstop in the 3rd inning. Fastball up high, ball 1. Andy Van Slyke had a 2-out single in the 4th. The only other Pirate base runner. The Mets run, by the way, came on a home run by Darren Reed. Solo home run in the 5th inning. Reed playing left field for Kevin McReynolds. The other day, Pat Tabler had a home run, and playing for right fielder Darryl Strawberry. Low and inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Pirates and the Mets tomorrow night at Three Rivers. Game time 7:35. Sid Fernandez pitching today for New York. That means that David Cohn goes tomorrow night against Zane Smith. Pirates' magic number is 1. As the Buccos have built a 4-game lead over New York in the National League East. The Pirates winning yesterday and the Mets losing. Don Slaught pops the pitch up. Ozzie Smith makes the catch. There are 2 outs in the 5th. And that is the 8th fly ball out for Joe McGrain.
One of the things that makes Joe McGrain so successful is his ability to run the ball in on the hands of right-handed batters. Now, we watch Randy Tomlin pitch. Randy has that delivery that really brings the ball in. McGrain, not the same time of delivery, but the same kind of pitch.
Go to first. Bonzi's back. We were talking earlier about that Thursday game here in St. Louis, the first trip that we made into Busch Stadium. The Pirates won that Thursday game 5-1. Drabek beat McGrain. Joe McGrain had carried a 1-0 lead from the 1st inning until the 8th, when the Pirates scored 4 runs and got 3 of the 4 off McGrain. Lean takes it for a ball.
It looked to be the kind of ball game that night that McGrain was so convincing to the Pirates. It just didn't seem like they had a chance to do anything against him, and all of a sudden, here they come. They pulled one out.
Right center field. And Langford reaches down to make the catch. No runs, no hits, a walk, and one man left on base after 4.5. The Pirates nothing and the Cardinals nothing.
Into the lock-up self-storage centers. Low cost, convenient, easy to use. You can use lockup for that extra car you don't drive, when you're between homes, when your business needs more room to do business. Lockup stuff not big in the market right now. Use lockup for a hobby your family doesn't share. The lockup, now with 2 separable locations, Penn Avenue in Drabek or Route 60 and I-79. Call 241-1100. That's 241-1100.
It's a time of year for maximum savings during final year-end clearance at the McCain supermarket. Every vehicle at all 6 McCain dealerships is at final reduction. We've even opened the giant McCain storage lots and warehouses to the public, where you can choose from over 1,000 cars and trucks. Honda, Oldsmobile, Chrysler Plymouth, Cadillac, GMC trucks, and Isuzu. Every vehicle is priced from factory invoice for year-end clearance. We guarantee the biggest selection and the lowest price in Pittsburgh at McCain.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Pittsburgh Baseball Club Incorporated, intended for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Pirates and KBL is prohibited. Our producer-director is Dennis Galloway, and in the bottom of the 5th inning, Terry Pendleton leads off for St. Louis. Ground ball to second. Jose Lind has been very busy today. Chico now with 5 assists and 3 putouts. The Toronto Blue Jays have scored 3 runs in the top of the 5th. It's the Blue Jays 7 and the Boston Red Sox 4. The Cubs lead the Mets 2-1. New York still batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bill Thompson takes a strike. Doug Drabek, 3-6 lifetime against the Cardinals. Doug is 2-2 lifetime at Busch Stadium. Bouncer first base side, kicking into foul territory. Drabek, the only 20-game winner in the National League. Gooden and Viola will have their opportunities to win 20. They're scheduled to pitch against the Pirates Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively. 3 20-game winners in the American League. Bob Welch with 26. Dave Stewart of Oakland, 22. Roger Clemens, 21. Ground ball. Diving stop by Bell. No, ball kicks away. Jay was in position to knock the ball down. Ball rolled away, and Jay gets up limping a little bit.
The breaking ball that Thompson doesn't try to pull. Jay does get a piece of it. He's not going to throw Milt Thompson out, even if Jay comes up with this ball. I don't believe. Thompson runs so well. Might have banged his knee.
I think so. One on, one out. Tom Pagnozzi, the Cardinal catcher, 3 for 7 in this series. Pagnozzi hit a home run Friday night. Runner breaking. Doug steps off and fires to second. They got him. I thought for a moment Doug might have waited too long, but he does get the runner at second base. The out at second goes 1-6.
He almost waited too long. See what happens? Slot yells. What happens when a pitcher goes into the stretch like that, he can see the runner out of the corner of his eye. And when Thompson started to move, sometimes the pitcher would think, well, he's decoying. He's not really going to run on me. And all of a sudden, Doug has to hustle to make this play here. Thompson almost beats it.
Oh, Don Slow is going to run to the mound to get the ball and throw it himself. Fly ball to right center. And he is over, and that's all for the Cardinals in the 5th inning after 5 complete on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. The Pirates nothing and the Cardinals nothing.
This is WPXI, your 24-hour news source.
Hello, I'm Kelly Mitchell, Channel 11 News. Budget, we've got a budget. The President and Congress have reached a tentative agreement on a new fiscal pact. No word on specifics just yet. U.S. and British warships have stopped an Indian ship with 1,800 Kuwaiti refugees on board. The vessel was allowed to continue. And the U.S. Supreme Court starts a new term tomorrow. For the KBL WPXI 24-hour news source, I'm Kelly Mitchell.
They flew more successful missions than any crew in history. America made them the glamour flyboys of World War II. But their last mission was their most dangerous, and only one lady could save them. A B-17 bomber they named Memphis Belle. Rated PG-13. Special preview Saturday night, October 6th. Check newspapers for theaters.
Today, a major shipment of sunchokes will arrive at Giant Eagle, a very important event, for very few supermarkets ever receive this rare vegetable, because they only have a few customers who request it. But absolute minimum prices have brought so many customers to Giant Eagle, we are able to bring our customers events such as this, the biggest sunchoke delivery in town. Giant Eagle, nothing else comes close.
Well, we'll go to the 6th inning in a scoreless ball game. There are the numbers. The only hits, the Pirates have 1. The base hit by Andy Van Slyke, a 2-out single. The Cardinals with 3 hits. Joe McGrain and Doug Drabek locking horns this afternoon. Kind of a marquee matchup, and it's held up. Ken Durdevanis joins us from radio side, and maybe you'll bring some runs with you over here, guys.
Up on the radio side, Rook, when you look at what McGrain and Drabek have done, Jim Leland said that he couldn't wait to get to the ballpark. And now the Mets, we see, have tied the game at 2 in the 5th inning with the Chicago Cubs. But he said, yeah, it'd be nice to do it. We got our big guy going, but then a big guy's going for St. Louis, McGrain, and he's been just as tough. McGrain to face Doug Drabek and begin the 6th inning. And there it is. 2-2, 5th inning, New York and Chicago. Smith. Joe Torre called Jim Leland to wish him luck, but also Torre would just as soon have the Bucs celebrate someplace else besides his ballpark. Cardinals are headed for their first last place finish since 1918. Here's Garrett Reedus. I did ask Jim how he slept. He said he slept all right until about 5 a.m. Woke up with a big headache. The Bucs may have to do it here themselves if they want to clinch in St. Louis.
That's what you'd really like to do. Do it yourself. And it would be even more impressive because the Mets have been playing so well themselves in New York and on the road. I mean, they've really given the Pirates a real battle here. So if you can do it yourself, I think it's that good feeling that you get because you did it. You didn't have to worry about somebody else helping you out.
Boy, and the Bucs so impressive of late. 6 straight wins, 9 out of 10. As they say, meeting the challenge. And now trying to wrap it up today. McGrain looked like he was all over the place early in terms of control, but never got into a position where he was behind on too many hitters. Throwing hard. I wonder if he took issue with, well, I would think he would, with the columnist comment this morning in the paper. Talked about McGrain being arrogant and may have half a heart reference to his one-loss record. He loses Gary Reedus. So the Bucks get another speedster on the bases.
Well, in a lot of cases, when a comment like that is made, at least the way I would read into things, part of the problem comes from a personal standpoint. I don't think you can question this guy's guts. And basically, that's what that reporter was saying. You know, you're questioning a man's integrity. It can't be from his ability alone. Part of that has to be personal, and that's something we don't know, whether that particular person has a problem with McGrain.
We do know McGrain's pitching a heck of a game today. Allowed just 3 base runners, 2 walks, and the single by Van Slyke.
Well, McGrain was 18-9 in last year with a 291 earned run average. You don't pitch that well without having some guts to go out there with you, because not every day do you go out there with your good stuff.
It's been a long year for McGrain, off to a rough start, but has pitched well the second half of the season. And Reedus. Guerrero's throw, and Gary out at second base. Third time a runner today has been erased at second base. Twice caught trying to steal, once a pickoff. First time the Pirates have been caught down at second base. Cardinals were caught twice.
Well, I'd mentioned with Bonds when he was on base in the last inning, and the same thing holds true for Gary Reedus or anybody with speed. Trying to run on Joe McGrain is not easy. It's a guessing game all the way with the kind of a delivery or move that McGrain has.
Jay Bell. One ball and 1 strike. Van Slyke single with 2 outs in the 4th. Bonds walked in the 5th. Never got to second base. And Reedus out. Caught trying to steal here in the 6th inning. 3-1. Pendleton on to first. That's it in the 6th inning. After 5 1/2, still no score.
It started here, in a country where tradition's still a part of brewing, and beer's still a part of tradition, where old friends are thought the best friends, and old ways often the best ways, including the way beer is brewed, the way one beer in America still is brewed today. A beer started here more than 200 years ago. Stroh's, fire brewed, family brewed. Some things never change. Some things never should.
Shop the appliance store at the Tri-State's name brand headquarters for the best selection of Panasonic TV. Choose a Panasonic 13-inch remote control, color portable that goes where you go. A 20-inch TV with on-screen menu, a 27-inch stereo monitor receiver, or a fantastic 45-inch stereo projection TV. And you theater fans, register to win exciting prizes in the Panasonic Black and Gold Club. No purchase necessary, and it's only at the appliance store. The best for less.
One Tough Motor Oil announces one tough guarantee. The Quaker State 250,000-mile or 10-year guarantee. Register your new car at a participating service center. Then use only Quaker State. Have oil and filter changed as directed at a service center, and if any lubricated engine part suffers an oil-related breakdown within 250,000 miles or 10 years, you're covered. Quaker State guarantees it in writing. The big Q is one Tough Motor Oil.
You don't know how magnificent U.S. prime beef can be till you've been to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, home of serious steaks.
The Pirates trying to clinch their first divisional title in 11 years. May have to do it again if they're going to do it today by themselves. The Mets have now taken a lead at Shea in the 5th, 3-2.
Well, the kind of performance that Drabek is giving this afternoon lends to that possibility if he can just get a couple of runs to work with.
Working to Oquendo to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. No score. Cardinals have 3 hits. The Pirates have 1. Jay Bell.
Didn't mean to do it, but Oquendo makes contact and an easy out.
Here's Joe McGrain, the sacrifice in the third inning.
Now, you do have to be careful of this guy. No home runs or RBIs, but he has hit a home run. I believe he has one off Doug Drabek. Not this year, but he's big and strong.
Barry Bonds, 2 outs. Drabek said he was surprised when Ray Miller told him after the last start that was the best he's thrown ever, according to Ray Miller. And Doug said, well, what about the no-hit bid? Was 1 strike away from a no-hitter, but the fact that Drabek was in trouble early, was almost knocked out of the game early against the Cubs, and came back to win it in impressive fashion. Really drew quite the compliment and the accolades from pitching coach Ray Miller. Jay Bell on to first base. Drabek hasn't thrown many pitches through 6 innings. For the Bucks without any runs for him as we go on to the 7th inning from Busch Stadium. Pirates nothing. St. Louis nothing.
What's the difference between a pizza from Giant Eagle and a pizza from someplace else? About 30 minutes. You see, at Giant Eagle, we make our pizza fresh every day. You just have to bake it, so it goes straight from your oven to your table. You don't have to wait a minute to enjoy great pizza. Get a pizza from someone else's oven, and it could take over 30 minutes to get to your table. So pick up a pizza from Giant Eagle today, because the only thing that comes to those who wait is cold pizza.
Of all the pirate cards you can collect, make sure you have this one. The Pirates MasterCard. It can save you a small fortune on clubhouse store merchandise, game tickets, even pirate charter vacations. The Pirates MasterCard. It's the one baseball card that's got it all. Except the bubblegum.
A good suit at a good price. That's how we've been serving Pittsburgh men for 70 years. We're the Coach House, established 1920. And we're celebrating 70 years right now with $70 off any regularly priced suit. $70 off suits from Harry Ellis, Hugo Boss, Hart, Schaffner & Marx, Burberry, and Aqua Scudo. Now at the Coach House, where we suit men of all sizes.
And today's trivia question brought to you by IKEA at Robinson Town Center. It's a big country. Someone's got to furnish it. The first caller at 333-4010. The correct answer will win a gift certificate from Brandy's Restaurant. Here's the question. Whose potentially brilliant career was ruined when he broke his ankle sliding in 1977? Number to call, 333-4010. Spanky hoping the Bucks can clinch it here today. Again, Chicago is now trailing New York. No score here as we go to the 7th. Andy Van Slyke. Base hit in the 4th inning. 1-0.
Just to give an indication of how much McGrain and Drabek have been on their game, that was the 65th pitch that McGrain has thrown so far. Drabek has thrown 52.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
It's impressive if one guy does it at this point of a game, but both guys. 2-0 the count.
Well, there are those marquee matchups that sometimes they don't really come to surface. This is the base hit that Andy had his last time up. But this ball game is pretty much held up for that good pitching.
The only base hit you just saw, a single by Van Slyke in the 4th inning. Wally Whitehurst is now pitching in for Sid Fernandez, beginning the top of the 6th inning. The 2-1. It's a strike. Darrell Boston has suffered a slightly separated left shoulder, making a catch on Ryan Sandberg's fly ball in the top of the 5th inning. He's left the game. Told you Darryl Strawberry did not start, nor did Kevin McReynolds. 2-2.
Ouch. That got the umpire solid. Home plate umpire Tom Hallion. Yeah, Wow is right. All Andy does is misdirect this ball. He doesn't slow it down any, and it looked like it hit him direct and solid right on the right shin of Tom Hallion. The umpires wear shin guards similar to those of catchers, only they're a little smaller. A small amount of protection there. I don't know if it's a metal or a fiberglass. I think it's a fiberglass with some padding behind it, but it's still not very much, and it does hurt when you get hit that solid.
Look at the sleeve there. Chicago didn't score in the 6th. They go to the bottom of the 6th to Shea, and still it's 3-2 New York leading. Here there's no score. We're in the top half of the 7th inning.
Well, as strange as this might sound, this little delay might benefit the Pirates. Joe McGrain, his tempo and rhythm is so good right now, maybe a little bit of a delay will mess him up somewhat. Of course, you hate to see anybody hurt down there. Umpires are like catchers. They can go for a while and not get hit. The foul balls will just go by them in some fashion, either in the dirt or over their shoulder. But then there are the other times that they seem to come in bunches.
You don't know whether he might have already had a bruise in that area, and this could just irritate it further.
See, this is what I mean about Joe McGrain. He was going along so well, and you don't know that this won't mess up his rhythm a little bit. Once a pitcher gets locked in and gets that tempo going, he wants to stay with it. He wants to just rock and roll, get the ball to sign, and let her rip. So a little bit of a delay here. Well, that's the good news. When you see some of the umpires smiling and laughing a little bit, you know that the other guy's okay. And there's always that little comment somebody will make. They'll say, just think how good it's going to feel when it stops hurting. And you don't know when that's going to be, though.
I was thinking, when is that going to happen?
Yeah. Danny Murtaugh used to use that on his catchers when they'd take one. He said, hey, Duffy Dyer happened one day. He said, hey, Duff, just look at it this way. It's going to feel so good when it stops hurting.
We do have an answer to a trivia quiz. Earlier we asked whose potentially brilliant career was ruined when he broke his ankle sliding in 1977. Rennie Stennett, Richard Arrico of Newcastle, Pennsylvania, guessing that correctly. So, gift certificate from Brandy's Restaurant. All right, 2-2 the count. Nobody out, 7th inning. No score here in St. Louis. Got him.
Well,
for all that, yeah, Van Slyke strikes out.
It didn't bother McGrain. I was surprised. I thought he might throw a couple of warm-up pitches, but he comes right at Andy with a breaking pitch. Now, this is the ball, and we talked about this with Doug Drabek. Any good pitcher with the stuff, you'll see that hitters, in most cases, they have to hit the ball as it's leaving the strike zone. And that pitch was. It was headed for the middle of the plate, but leaving the strike zone. Pitchers get hit when they make a bad pitch, and balls are coming into the strike zone in a variety, whether they're up or just the hitter happens to catch up to one.
McGrain with his strikeout, number 3 for Joe today, and Bonilla looks at ball 2, 2-0.
Well, that's encouraging. Bobby saw 2 pitches his first 2 times up. Now we've seen 2 and 1 at bat.
And sends a fly ball, but foul. A deep shot to the upper deck, but foul. High towering shot. That's a pretty good blast, even in foul territory.
Well, Felix Jose hit one here in fair territory to the right of the foul pole. In that first full section to the right of the foul pole.
Ozzie Smith, he won't get him, and Bonilla on with an infield single.
Good hustle on Bobby's part. Ozzie Smith has never had an overpowering arm. The thing that makes him work is his ability to get to balls that other shortstops can't. To make this kind of a play, you have to have a Sean Dunston-type arm, and Ozzie just doesn't have it.
Bonilla has the Pirates' second base hit of the day. Buck's fourth base runner. No score in the 7th inning. And Barry Bonds, the batter. Big rip. Barry trying to give the Bucks the lead with one swing of the bat. Six of his last 12 hits have been home runs. He's trying to make it 7 of his last 13 there. 1-1.
Now, Joe McGrain, and we've talked about it a couple of times, does not get the ball up too often, and Barry got a chance there, but just couldn't get it. Couldn't catch up to the pitch.
The 1-1. Gilkey makes the catch. 2 outs in the 7th inning. I don't know if you agree. This almost has a World Series feel to it, or playoff feel. The fact that both pitchers working quickly, working very effectively. Cool, crisp day. Every team seems to be prizing every base runner. And for the Bucks, playing with that kind of intensity, they like to go ahead and clinch here and bring on the Mets.
Well, the one thing that's different to me when you use that term is the crowd hasn't really been able to get into it. Of course, it's a down year here in St. Louis, and most of the people are probably here just to get their tickets so they have a chance to win a car more than anything else.
It is Fan Appreciation Day. They have better than 40,000 fans here. But they have been disappointed. A rough year for the Cardinals.
Well, when you put 2 pitchers out there, the fans only want one guy to do well, and that's their pitcher. They want to see their team score some runs, so you get one side or the other, and some people might feel, well, it's a boring game. In some cases it is, but what you're looking at are 2 very good pitchers having very good days so far. And the purist who likes that aspect of it, the pitching part of it, which I happen to do quite a bit, you really do appreciate what they're doing. More so McGrain, and I'm not taking anything away from Doug because, let's face it, you're looking at Mr. Cy Young. But McGrain is facing a better team and a better lineup, so it's a little tougher on him perhaps than Doug on a particular day.
The 2-1. Yeah, Bucks have all the big boppers and on the verge of wrapping up the Eastern title in the National League. First time in 11 years. Having played solid baseball this past week. 6 straight wins, 9 out of 10.
Well, I believe it was 11 years to the day, isn't it, when it happened in 79?
September 30th, 1979. Smith, the second base, the force out. The Bucks don't do it in the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. And no score. The Bucks and the Cardinals.
Into the lock-up self-storage centers. Low cost, convenient, easy to use. You can use lock lock up for that extra car you don't drive. When you're between homes. When your business needs more room to do business. Lock up stuff not big in the market right now. Use lock up for a hobby your family doesn't share. The lock up now with 2 steppable locations. Penn Avenue in Drabek or Route 60 and I-79. Call 241-1100. That's 241-1100.
Pirate Baseball is brought to you on KBL by Giant Eagle. Eagle Video at Giant Eagle, where you can pick up 3 movies for just $2 every day. By Cappell's Jewelers, with 4 convenient locations to serve you. By Stroh's. Some things never change. Some things never should. Stroh's. And by IKEA at Robinson Town Center. It's a big country. Someone's got to furnish it.
No, you and Lanny talked about John Tudor retiring, but Jerry Royce will retire after this season. He was hoping to, he wanted to have it announced after the Bucks clinch, but situation was brought up earlier, and a great year for this guy also.
Well,
a great career, I should say, and had a chance to work into his 4th decade.
Well, Jerry, in a sense, making the statement here, which what I think is appropriate, because he makes the statement about ending his career in the place that he started it. Jerry was a Cardinal in 1969, and getting through the 4 decades, it's really a tribute, I think, to any player that can stick around that long. And I know some people say, well, a guy's hanging on to be hanging on. That's not really true in a lot of cases. Players have a lot of pride, and they want to prove to themselves as well as to other people that they can still compete at that age. So it's quite a thing to do. I wish I could have done it.
Ozzie Smith leads off. Bottom of the 7th inning, no score. Pirates have 2 hits. The Cardinals have 3. Jay Bell. And the Cardinals have had 2 runners erased at second base. Milt Thompson was caught trying to steal. Drabek threw to Reedus, who went down, and the tag applied at second base. And then they picked off Jose Akindo at second base in the 3rd inning. Doug Drabek turned around and threw to Jose Lane, who applied the tag. Breaking ball, 1-0.
And these are the kinds of games, Kent, that those types of plays become very important. Whether it's no score or the low score, 1-run ball games, to keep those runners out of scoring position, it makes that guy out in the middle of the diamond pitch a little better.
You know, if the Pirates had clinched it yesterday, Jim Leland said that maybe Drabek would only work a few innings today and come back and pitch Thursday against Cincinnati. Right now, the Bucks want to clinch it as long as it takes for Drabek to get the job done, and the ball hit toward the corner, but foul.
Langford almost got caught there. He stood at home plate for about 2 or 3 seconds and then realized, wait a minute, the ball might be fair. Watch him here. He'll just stand there, and he's assuming that it's going to go foul. And right about there, halfway down the line, it does start to hook and go into the stands. Now, that's what my fastball used to look like.
There's a balloon.
That balloon going
bigger than a basketball just went by the booth.
That would have been a Charlie Finley fastball. Remember the year?
Sure.
Yeah, he wanted the orange baseballs.
The 2-2. Langford has grounded out twice. A lot of ground ball outs. Drabek.
11 for Doug so far. Hasn't walked anybody, nor has he struck out a hitter. It's the first time he's gone to a 3-ball count on anybody, and he gets the strikeout.
2 outs here in the 7th inning, and that's the first strikeout for Drabek today.
Watch Doug as he finishes up here. Whether he was happy with the pitch or not. There he goes. Well, that's a cute little pirouette, isn't it? That that's the Texas Shuffle, folks. The victorious shuffle.
Now with 2 outs, here's Pete Guerrero. One of the few home run threats in the Cardinals lineup. The way it's going, it may come down to one long ball to decide this one. No score, bottom of the 7th inning. Jay Bell. And the side is retired. The Bucks trying to clinch the National League East. They haven't given up a run, but they haven't gotten one themselves. So we go to the 8th. No score.
This is WPXI, your 24-hour news source.
Hello, I'm Kelly Mitchell, Channel 11 News. A Northside hostage situation has ended peacefully with one man in police custody and the victim safe. The country just may have a new federal budget, and in the nick of time, Congress and the president both saying a tentative agreement has been cut. Syria now says it wants Iraq to withdraw from Kuwait. From the KBL WPXI 24-hour news source, I'm Kelly Mitchell reporting.
It started here, in a country where tradition is still important, where breweries are handed down, generation to generation, so the old ways are not forgotten, including the traditional way of brewing beer, the way one beer in America still is brewed today. A beer started here more than 200 years ago. Stroh's, fire brewed, family brewed. Some things never change. Some things never should.
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a tough one. I can't think of anything now. Who could it be? I don't know. A good one.
You're asking me that?
Let me think about that for a second. Okay.
See all your favorite Mets for the last time October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It just may be for all the marbles. Call for tickets or visit the stadium box office 9 to 6.
Lots of motor oils claim to be tough. Quaker State puts it in writing. Ask your participating service center about Quaker State's tough lubrication guarantee. Only a tough motor oil can make a guarantee this tough. Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Darren Reed having a big day for the Mets. They now lead Chicago in the 6th inning 4-2. Runner at third base, 1 out. And a 2-run lead for New York. Here at Busch, the Pirates. No score to the 8th inning on a beautiful sunny afternoon. Pirates will take on the Mets tomorrow. And this is another Giant Eagle home run hitters contest. Our contestant, Martha Poprick of Swissvale, PA.
Tom Hallion has left the game, by the way. We're going to finish this one with 3 umpires, so Randy Marsh will move in behind the plate. Ed Montague will work at third and Joe West at first base. So apparently that foul ball off the bat of Andy Van Slyke was in the 7th inning, the top of the 7th, apparently has begun to be a problem for Hallion, so he's left the game.
All right, here we go in the 8th. No score. Don Slott, Jose Lean, and Doug Drabek. A great pitching duel here at Busch Stadium this afternoon. Fly ball, foul territory. Guerrero gives it a chase into the first row of the seats. If the Bucks can clinch it today, it would set up who else but the Reds and the Pirates? The only 2 teams, surprisingly, that didn't win a divisional title in the 80s. But they met enough in the 70s, 70, 72, 75, and 1979.
I guess when you talk about the cycles of baseball, that really did come to fruition in the 80s, Kent, because as you mentioned, the Pirates and the Reds were the team of the 70s, teams of the 70s.
Base hit, Don Slott, leadoff single. That'll bring up Jose Lean. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rook, is the outside of the cosmetic race in '88, last time the Pirates truly in a race in September, would that have been '83?
Yeah.
So it's been a lengthy drought for the Bucks.
Very dry. But I think that's when things were so bad in Pittsburgh, Kent, when they went through all the problems, the drug trials and all that, when you get that out of your system, which they've been able to do, that makes winning so much more special when it does happen again with the, I mean, this is a completely different crew of people. I'm talking from the front office and management and down to the field. You rebuild, and that's exactly what the Pirate organization did. They retooled and have made Pittsburgh and the organization a proud place to be once again.
Hoping to celebrate, reach their goals today, at least some of their goals, but they got to get a run. Right now, Lean batting. No balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Slot at first base represents the go-ahead run. Toronto now leading Boston 8-4 in the top of the 7th inning. Wade Boggs committed an error, allowing Mookie Wilson to score. Toronto would be 1 game back if they win today. 0-2 to Chico. A nice stop by the catcher, Pagnozzi.
Well, we've talked about how good this guy is defensively, and he just showed you that is a tough play for any catcher, because McGrain, who has good stuff and throws hard, you don't expect the ball in most cases to be that far out of the strike zone. So when it is, you really have to have those quick reactions and also the soft hands that go along with it to catch the ball.
The 1-2. We're in the 8th inning. No score. Bucks and St. Louis. 1 out, slot at first. And Chico hanging in there.
Now, this is a real battle, and the Pirates, who have not been able to get a runner to second base so far, if they can do that, maybe the good things will happen. Chico giving him a good battle.
Ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball, base hit, right side and through. Slot will stop at second base, and with nobody out, the Bucks have the go-ahead run down at second. Great work by Lean. 1-2 count, continued to foul pitch after pitch. Has himself a single.
Well, they kept working Lean away, and away. Now with a big hole on the right side, that's a pitch that Lean can handle well enough. So it really does set up the situation here. Cangill pinch run for Don Slaught. Drabek will try to move him over. Now, with these corners today, Kent, Pendleton at third base, there's better defense as opposed to when Todd Zeile is out there. However, with Pedro Guerrero at first base, he won't win any gold gloves. So if Doug can get down a decent bunt, he'll get the job done and move the runners up.
Doug went down to meet with Gene Lamont halfway between the coaching box and home plate. Joe McGrain working with 2 on, nobody out in the 8th inning. There's no score. New York again leading Chicago 4-2. That game at Shea Stadium in the 6th inning. Drabek bunts it foul, 0-1.
Now this might be a little deja vu for Joe McGrain. We had mentioned earlier that he carried a 1-0 lead into the 8th inning against the Pirates and Doug Drabek earlier this year, and the Bucks knocked him out of the game in that inning. So it could come to fruition here. No score, however, this time, but the Bucks trying to do something about that.
The 0-1. Fastball bunted back into the grandstand, almost the second level.
Doug, for the most part this year, has been able to do a pretty good job of getting the ball down with his 7 sacrifice bunts. But McGrain is a tough pitcher to bunt against. A lot of people talk about the movement of his pitches, and he hides the ball, a herky-jerky delivery.
Guy whose fastball really developed after he was signed. Threw well for college, but was not overpowering, but now overpowering in the majors. And trying to get this one by Drabek. 2 on, nobody out.
There you go.
It's down. No one's covering third. McGrain goes to first base. Out in time, and the bases are jammed. The bases are loaded. McGrain looked at third. Pendleton came off the bag, so McGrain couldn't throw to third. And by the time they went to first base, it was too late.
Well, this is where a pitcher has to realize that the ball is bunted hard enough. Sure, Joe does a nice job of covering that side of it, but because the ball was bunted so hard, Pendleton has to commit a little earlier than he wants to. The only play here is to first base, and Tom Pagnozzi, the catcher, whether he yelled or not, we don't know that, but that's his job. The catcher has to help the pitcher out. So the Pirates get a huge break here, and now a chance for, I'm telling you, now is when you really start thinking about icing things down, Kent.
The bases are loaded. Nobody out. No score here in the 8th inning. Bucks hit a grand slam home run this inning. Gilbert Hillen of Uniontown, PA, will win a trip for 4 to Walt Disney World in Florida. Compliments of U.S. Air and Royal Travel. All right, here we go. Infield is in. Cangelosi at third, Lean at second, Drabek at first. 1-1.
Gary hit a grand slam against the Dodgers in Pittsburgh. Straightaway center field.
0 for 2 against McGrain this afternoon. No balls and 2 strikes. Slot a single. Cangelosi pinch running. Lean a ground ball base hit right side. Drabek given credit for a bunt single. Again, the infield is in with nobody out. 1-2. Blue Jays lead Boston 9-4 in the top of the 7th. Greatest walked in the 6th inning. To center field. That'll get a home run. Langford makes the catch. Cangelosi tagging. He is in to score, and the Bucks take a 1-0 lead. The sacrifice fly by Gary Reedus gets Cangelosi in. What's more, Lean gets into third base. Another fly ball deep enough could give the Pirates a 2-0 lead.
Well, that's the bonus of it. The fact that Chico was smart enough to tag up and go to third. Now, Gary does a great job because McGrain tries to go outside again with that fastball, and Reedus covering the plate, just trying to protect the strike zone, hits the fly ball to center field. And with Kanji crossing the plate, Lean goes to third, and if the Cardinals, if they can't turn the double play, the Bucks can get another run out of it. The middle infielders will move back now. Ozzie at short and Oquendo at second. They're going to try and set it up for the double play, and you have a pitcher out there that is a pretty good ground ball type. However, the Pirates have hit more fly balls off McGrain today than you would expect.
Now Jay Bell, the batter. Runners on the corners. Pirates lead 1-0 here in the 8th inning. Bell 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Pitch out, nothing doing. Holding at first base, Doug Drabek.
Well, the Cardinals are thinking about it. The other option with good speed at third base and Lean, and that is the possibility of the squeeze bunt.
You can count on one hand, maybe 3 fingers on one hand, when the Bucks have squeezed this year. The 1-0. Another pitch out, 2-0.
They may pitch out again.
Two balls and no strikes. 3-0. And events like will follow.
Now here's the thought, Kent. Would you turn Jay loose 3-0? I might give him a shot here. I'll say yes, you say no.
No, I haven't said anything right now.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Give him the green light. He might have had the green light. He takes the strike, 3-1. Maybe he didn't like the pitch.
Well, that was so marginal, but McGrain got the call.
Runners on the corners, 1 out. A run is in. The Bucks lead 1-0 here in the 8th. Swung on and missed. 3-2.
Try to use Jim Leland's smart hitting theory right now. If McGrain wants to walk you, and it's not intentional, the point being if he throws a ball, don't help him out and go after it. Smart hitting right now.
The 3-2, ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Van Slyke. Third walk allowed by Joe McGrain. And here's Andy Van Slyke. Andy 1 for 3. Gilbert Hillen remains our contestant in the Royal Travel Grand Slam contest. Bucks are to be content with another sacrifice fly. 1 out. Bases are loaded. Bell, Drabek, and lean on the bases. Ground ball. They'll get one. Guerrero comes home. Safe at the plate, and the Bucks lead 2-0. There are 2 outs in the inning. Lean is safe at home, and the Pirates lead it 2-0.
Well, if Guerrero makes an accurate throw, and we talked about the possibility of a bunt earlier, he's not going to win any Gold Gloves. If he throws the ball to the plate and doesn't pull Pagnazzi off, it's an out because it's a force play. Pagnazzi is pulled off the plate, it takes the force away, and Lean scores. Any kind of a good throw at all, and he's out.
Double check if we see where Guerrero, how close he was to the first base bag.
Oh, he was right on it.
But according to Joe West, never got his foot on the bag. Here's another look at it.
No, he doesn't touch the bag, but he's a half a step from first base. This angle won't show it as well, but all he had to do was touch the bag. Now, that takes the force away. He makes the right play here because you want to get the force and not have to tag the runner, but his throw was a bad one, pulling Pagnazzi away from the plate.
Bases are still loaded. 1 out in the inning. And Bobby Bonilla. 1 ball, no strike count.
Well, Andy will get an RBI out of it. His 77th of the year. Let's have a chance to break this one open.
Line drive caught by the leaping second baseman Jose Oquendo. That's the 2nd out of the inning.
Nice play by Oquendo, who has not made an error on artificial surface this year. Goes up for that one.
2 outs. And Barry Bonds, the batter. Barry with just 3 hits in his last 23 at-bats. Bases remain loaded. 1 ball, no strike count. Pirates have scored 2 runs in the inning. Angelosi and Lean have scored. Drabek at third, Bell at second, Andy Van Slyke at first base. Barry's bounced out to second, walked, and flied out. Second baseman Oquendo on to first base. But the Bucks get 2 runs in the 8th. Take the lead. No home run hit, but our contestant will win a consolation prize from Procter & Gamble. To the bottom of the 8th, the Buccos lead it 2-0.
your season tickets now to the Penguins on the all-new KBL. Check the paper every night for Game Time on the KBL Pittsburgh Penguins Sports Network. KBL, your season ticket to Penguins.
Superb jewelry that tells superb time.
The Longines 1000.
Oh, watch the sheer luxury on your wrist.
The feel of gold and silk.
The Longines 1000 delivers hairline Swiss quartz accuracy. It is water resistant, but most of all, this is superb jewelry, and it makes a great gift.
Oh, I was hoping for a Longines.
The Longines 1000 for men and women. Superb.
On an average weekend, we use 130,000 eggs at King's Family Restaurants. Some are whipped into magnificent golden hotcakes. Others are blended with cheese, tomatoes, onions, and green peppers into fluffy omelets. Dozens more are used to create a mountain of French toast. And some are fried and served with toast and sausage.
I'm Hartley King. I believe fresh ingredients make food taste better. That's why I keep these girls employed.
Here's the Airways out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Airways. Airport valet parking where it always pays to park smart. New York leading in the 7th inning. Doesn't make much difference if the Bucks can hold on to this lead here. Philadelphia beat Montreal 2-1 the final. San Diego leads Cincinnati. The Reds have the West already wrapped up. Houston leads Atlanta in the 6th inning. San Francisco, Los Angeles. After 2, the Giants on top. American League, Toronto leads in the 7th inning. Detroit beat Minnesota 1-0. Baltimore won the first of 2. New York tied in the 4th. No score. Seattle and Texas also in the 4th inning. New first baseman for the Bucks, Sid Bream, comes in defensively here in the bottom of the 8th inning. New catcher, Mike LaValliere. Slot gave way to the pinch runner. Barry Bonds has it. The Bucks need 5 more outs. And the National League East is there.
We talked about Doug Drabek's glare and how he wanted to really get locked into this game, and we are seeing a fine performance. Joe McGrain, up until this 8th inning, pitching well himself, but Doug is really just continue to do something he's done all year long, and that's give you that big game when you really need it.
So many of his wins have followed Pirate defeat. That would not be the case today. Bucks have won 6 straight, 9 out of 10.
These are the games you dream about as a kid. Winning something big as a major leaguer.
As a kid, of course, you're always thinking about being mobbed by your teammates and mobbing them. Get in the final out in a game that clinches the title or pennant or World Series.
Well, that's a good term you use, Kent, because this baseball game has always been described as men playing a boy's game, and actually that is the truth. It's just that you're a big boy now. But you have those emotions build up inside of you, and you think back to those days when you were a kid and watching Major League Baseball and saying, gosh, someday I want to do that.
Well, we should let you know we're going to be sharing the emotions with you down in the Pirates clubhouse with the celebration if the Bucks hold on to this lead. Jim will be down there. We'll have a number of interviews. Comebacker taken by Drabek. He struggles with it, looked at it, and then throws on to first base. 2 outs.
Come to Papa. Doug has at least 1 ground out in every inning, and he's had 2 in every inning except the 5th and 6th. So with 1 here in the 8th, the pattern continues. And again, when you're out there on a given day and things seem to be working right, it's this kind of a game you'll get.
2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. The Pirates lead 2-0. They can clinch it without any help from the Chicago Cubs. Needed a win here today to wrap up the East. Foul ball. The fans have a chance. I know a lot of folks are going to be at the airport if the Bucks do it today. You can't get out there. I'd love to see a large crowd tomorrow against the New York Mets.
What a way to cap off a year. If they do cinch it today in the 3 games against the Mets, and don't think they're not meaningful. They are. You still have to stay sharp and get ready for the playoffs. So you're not just going to walk through those 3 games.
Sid Brame, a nice stop on to Drabek. What a play by Brame. The Bucks are 3 outs away from clinching the East in the National League on a sport clean play by Sid Brame. We go to the 9th. 2-0 Buccos.
Life without choices is like a jukebox with one song. But more choices are always at your fingertips. In the Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages, it's got more choices, a lot more, than any other Yellow Pages. No wonder so many of us, 9 out of 10 of us, use it. When it comes to choices, the more the merrier. The genuine Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages, nor the Book and Mac, a Bell Atlantic company.
Wow, New York! Take me to the best deli you know.
I know a shortcut.
There's one deli that's known far and wide.
They got your seafood salad, your pasta potpourri.
Only in New York.
Yeah.
A deli with over 200 delicious items.
That's got your pastrami, your corned beef. Hey, did I mention dessert?
New York sure is big.
That deli is Giant Eagle, and nothing else comes close.
Now, how about that Statue of Liberty?
I know a shortcut.
Pirate Baseball is brought to you on KBL by Giant Eagle, the Snap Shop at Giant Eagle. Top quality 2-for-1 prints at one low price. By Carrier and your local Carrier dealer. By the Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company. By Stroh's. Some things never change. Some things never should. Stroh's. And by Quaker State. The Big Q is one top motor oil.
Well, Sid Brame just comes in the game to help the defense. Doug Drabek, who earlier said anything hit over there, I'll be there. Great play by Brame and Doug. Watch him as he finishes off this play. Doug stays right with it, makes a nice play. And Sid with a smile on his face. It just seems that every time Doug pitches, there's a good play behind him.
Quick worker, getting the good defense. No exception here today against St. Louis. Dave Collins, the new right fielder, comes in. Expect to see Collins be the second man to bat in the 9th inning. Lee Smith is the new pitcher. And again, hope he'll stay with us. Bucks hold on to the lead and clinch the East. We'll have post-game coverage down in the Pirates clubhouse. Jeff King breaks the bat, splinters the bat. And it's 0-1. It's been an amazing season for the Bucks. Most folks pick the Pirates either 4th or 5th in the National League East. Even midway through the season, a lot of folks weren't convinced the Pirates were for real. Kept waiting for the Bucks to fold, and they never did. Team that's relied on powerful hitting. Right now, what is a strong starting rotation and good defense, better than the numbers indicate. One and one. The emergence of this guy has been a real key for the Bucks. 14 home runs, solid play at third base. Collins, and it drops in for a base hit. King to second base. You bet the Bucks would like to get another run to take into the bottom of the 9th inning. Oquendo and Guerrero. Collins kind of gives way at the last moment. Appeared that he might have had the best chance at it. And here's Sid Bream. Nobody out, 2-0 Bucks lead. They're in the top of the 8th inning now. New York leading 5-2. Doesn't matter to the Bucks if they can hold on to this lead. They'll do it themselves. It would be the Pirates' 7th straight win, their longest winning streak of the year. And it would run 10 wins their last 11 games. You mentioned Jeff King's play at third base. Wally Backman also has been a real key to the Pirates' success. At the plate, tremendous comeback story. And while so many folks talk about Bonilla, Bonds, and Drabek, those are the names most mentioned. It really has been a team year. They've relied on a lot of different people at a lot of different levels, AAA and AA. Three balls and no strikes. Rick Reed pitched some important games for the Bucks earlier in the year. Mike York, impressive win against Cincinnati. And of course Randy Tomlin, the 3-0. Pendleton, 1 out. John Franco now pitching the 8th inning against the Cubs at Shea. Bucks trying to clinch the National League East. First time in 11 years to the day, September 30th, 1979. Here's Jose Lean. Jaco, a ground ball base hit in the 8th inning. The Pirates scored 2 runs in the 8th. Van Slyke and Reedus, the RBIs. Reedus getting the sacrifice fly. What right now is the game-winning RBI. 1 ball, no strike count. The platoons have worked out well at first base. At catcher between LaValliere and Don Slott. Backman and King at third base. And nobody will begrudge the Bucks if they do it here today and win the National League East. Solid, convincing effort. Langford makes the catch. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. And again, we'll have live coverage down in the Pirates clubhouse. Should they get the job done in the 9th inning. As Doug Drabek bunt single in the 8th. Now batting with 1 on here in the 9th. The odds-on favorite to win the Cy Young Award of the National League. Doing everything, whether it be the defense, the pitching, the way he swung the bat. Oh, and 1. No balls and 2 strikes. Drabek hoping to get his 9th complete game of the year. And his 3rd shutout. Again, he's limited the Cardinals to just 3 base hits, outdueling Joe McGrain. Perfect way to clinch it with the Pirates' best going against McGrain. Stays alive at 0-2. And Doug hoping to become the first Pirate to lead the National League in victories since Bob Friend did it in 1958. Looking to run his record to 22-6. The 0-2. Foul tip held on to by the catcher, Tom Pagnozzi. That's it in the 9th inning. The Bucks 3 outs away. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Stay with us. They're getting ready for a celebration in St. Louis. The Bucks lead by 2.
It started here, in a country that's known to know something about beer. There's maybe no region richer in ways to brew beer, including the way all beer used to be brewed, fire brewed, the way one beer in America still is brewed today. A beer started here more than 200 years ago. Stroh's, fire brewed, family brewed. Some things never change. Some things never should.
This guy will be awfully happy. And a lot of fans throughout the country will be pleased if the Bucks can make sure the Cards only put up a 0 in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Pirates haven't won a title, a divisional title, since 1979. And these guys who have been so calm, so reserved outwardly, I got to believe they're going to bust loose. They deserve a celebration. And then have to get ready for the Mets and then the Cincinnati Reds. And again, we'll go down to the clubhouse after the game. Jim Rooker will have a number of interviews. But still, more work here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Doug Drabek needing 3 more outs. Jose Oquendo. Drabek has been outstanding. 3 hits. Superb control. He has not walked a man. He's out ahead 0-2. Sid Bream has it, 1 down. Oquendo retired. Dave Collins batting .236. Bernard Gilkey's on deck. Activity in the Pirate bullpen. Again, Drabek hasn't thrown many pitches today. Just in case, Stan Belinden, Bob Patterson. Well, for most folks, feel that it's a matter of time when the Bucks clinch. Bucks don't want to wait until tomorrow. They want to get it done today. and needing 2 more outs to do it. Foul tip held on to. He got him. Second strikeout by Doug Drabek. Nice job by Mike LaValliere. And the Bucks 1 out away from clinching the National League East. Chicago scored twice in the 8th. They go to the bottom of the 8th, and New York still leading 5-4. Denny Walling, the pinch hitter. 1 ball, no strike count. Ground ball. This should be it. And the Bucks have won the National League East. The emotion we haven't seen for much of the year is now obviously in full presence here at Busch Stadium. Jim Leland has kept it inside. And well deserved. What a year. The 1990 National League East champions. The Bucks' first divisional title since 1979. And did it convincingly. 7 consecutive wins, 10 of their last 11 games. The last out for Doug Drabek, solidifying his chances to win the Cy Young Award. Lean on to Sid Breams, and the champions of the National League East. The 22nd win for Doug Drabek as the Pirates win the East. And don't forget, we'll be going down live to the Pirates clubhouse for all the coverage and post-game interviews coming up in just a moment. Final score again, Pirates 2, the Cardinals nothing.
KBL countdown. Stand by to take net. Stand by for music cue. Roll VTT. Buckle up.
Get your season ticket now to the Pittsburgh Penguins on the all-new KBL Sports Network. KBL, where you'll find more primetime local and regional sports than all of the rest combined. 365 days a year. Hallelujah, Hollywood. The boys of winter are back. Now looking with a puck.